Today we're going to be learning about the phases of matter as well as the transitions from phase to phase. The first phase of matter is called a solid. A solid, represented with these 9 dots here, right, is usually very compact. All right, the atoms inside the solid are close together. All right, and what really represents a solid is when you have a definite shape, right, which means a shape that is the same no matter which container you put something in, right? If you put a quarter in a box or if you put a quarter in a cup, that quarter has the same shape because it is a solid, definite shape and a definite volume. All right, no matter what container you put a quarter in, right, it always takes up the same amount of space. A liquid, on the other hand, all right, a liquid has a definite volume. All right, no matter what size cup you have, you always have the same amount of liquid. You can't pour water into a bigger cup and get more water. The volume is definite, but the shape is indefinite. Right? Asking what is the shape of water sounds like a strange question because the shape completely depends on the container that it's in. Water that is in a water bottle looks like a water bottle. Water that is in a bucket looks like a bucket. Okay? The shape is indefinite, but the volume is definite. Gas, right? The final phase of matter. We have all of the atoms, all the particles are completely spread out. They're free to move around, and they actually do not have either a definite shape or a definite volume. Gases will always completely fill their containers. So they always have the same volume as the container, and they always have the same shape as the container. Now, as for the transitions between phases, they happen because of changes in heat, changes in temperature. Okay? If a solid is heated up, it will eventually become a liquid, and that process is called melting. If you continue to heat that liquid, it will start to boil and transition into a gas. However, if you took that gas and you started to cool it down, you started to remove heat from it, then you're going to see it go back to the liquid phase in a process called condensation. For some reason, condensation is very often forgotten by students. This is one you want to remember the name of. If you continue to cool a liquid, all right, you continue to remove heat from a liquid, eventually it will go back into the solid phase by freezing. Now, these are all of the typical phase changes, but there are a few special ones that happen in rare and specific circumstances. If you heat a solid enough, or if it's the right solid, sometimes it will go directly to a gas, and it will never be a liquid. And that is called sublimation, right? Or subliming, all right? You have sublimed. You went from a solid to a gas immediately. The inverse, the opposite of that, if you were to cool extremely quickly, go from being a gas to being a solid without passing through liquid, that is called deposition. All right? Or depose. You have deposed.